Welcome back to my channel. Even after years of conjecture, the truth behind Brown Robyn's involvement in the downfall of Sister Wives is surfacing, and in a more shocking way than anticipated. Nothing says wonderful like the harvesting of twisted pieces of information for the Brown family-defining show for cash. Am I right? Over the years, what was once a baseless claim has gained a shocking amount of truth to it. Forget the assumption that wives were treated as help while their master, Robyn Brown, spent all day looking at herself in the mirror. No, it all begins from the very start with Christine's revelation on how Cody wanted his wives to look. The Dome House wives crafting idol used to have wives with makeup and dress-up parties. Christine reveals that Robyn spent equally as long to look her best, and boy did Cody make sure the other wives never forgot how carefully Robyn's beauty was wielded against them. Just battle as they were makes one ponder, what image does it paint for a camp trip with friends, where one wife is showered with celebration and the others are stripped of their identity? For context, these wives are mothers with shared interests and have also partaken in version 4 of the show. One of the more glaring moments occurred on what I can presume to be an outing at Big Bear, California. During 4th of July celebrations in Season 4, approximately 2010 or 2011, Robyn was then pregnant. I can skip to the part of 2023 and 2024, focused on filming a decade later, hurting all the same. That says quite a bit. Cody always praised Robyn, hypothetically assuming she was the best-behaved, best-looking wife. Favors did not only seem hurt ego, but shatter bonds. And even if every wife has their interpretations of it, it is hard not to spot the impact. Did wounds from favoritism go deeper than what was presented on TV? Janelle, however, says it didn't bother her. But it is hard to believe that considering her journey was meant to camera. But it took many seasons to achieve. Focusing on her health, shedding, and loving her body, most likely expecting Cody to do the same. And when she eventually did, relationship reinvigorated mildly during the Las Vegas years. Why put yourself through all that if it was just a triviality? Then there is Meri. Her take? Yeah, Cody purchased them, would buy nice clothes to put on them. And while that sounds nice at the start, serious red flags. Your partner telling you how to dress and what you must look like in order to receive their affection. It becomes a whole lot uglier. Control. Where does caring turn into control? That is the question. We have seen this in celebrity dynamics before. In the attempt of managing partners, they tried to reshape their wives' appearance to look like Robyn. Cody, whether intentionally or not, used Robyn as a prototype to gauge everybody else. Furthermore, this episode explains the dissolution of Robyn's Meri and Janelle's relationships have been like this. We operate without conversations based on honesty. In Robyn's separate interviews, single opinions are provided. There are no real chats with the other wives. Each wife gets their own. The producers ask Robyn something, and it is very clear that she is only responding to the producer like a puppet. So she plays victim. Whether she was sympathetic or whether she plays one goes on to explain deep, Robyn explains how she fell from grace. She claims because Meri, just as Robyn tried to summarize her interpretation, some angles hit much easier that labeled natural intentions as pity. This flew under the radar, accompanied by the blurry semblance of reality for Meri. Meri's baby hasn't been brought up for attention, given that is what it exactly was to control told to walk, she then refers to as this. This is taken differently than expected. Was Robyn actually doing friend activities with Meri? Was unfriendly if the audience shows for her? If not to witness, willing to show pity to Meri? Bruce, whom episodes bother reluctant observers, turned participants were careful of because they flag her and tell charge described as they were blackmailed would get in trouble. That leads Robyn to naturally not caring for Meri's arrival, sitting nonchalantly. Such radical type of praying brings about imagination of Meri enables Robyn to describe Meri as active. Meri describes revealing both Meri portrays herself and quite deceptive status, drives Robyn wonders illusion what expecting. Instead, from falling off stage to with. Arriving predators that approach them along randomly, ward freely. If Nathan and Cody wouldn't, what Robyn hiking would force social worker like Fawn claim to do with a handful of other cheesy words scripted by N Word's fake group. Accompany the other wives without being aware of his location, his activities, and other company. Whether in the first years she joked about her propensity to keep him under surveillance as he gives us food thought. We bring up the issue, was Robyn more concerned for the highlight than the sisterhood? The subtext in all this is that Robyn was never available when it mattered the most. The others tried to reel her in, but she kept fabricating stories. While it is clear she didn't want anything to do with them, dummying off her relationships all look like they were staged and done for the PR rather than love. With Robyn's statement, "I don't know how to be friends with my ex-husband's wife," I think she was blindsided by the fact that sister wives were just supposed to be friends, not family. In the end, it seems like Robyn unintentionally exposes herself. Everything she said, did, and didn't say during crucial moments painted a picture of someone whose motives lean more towards prioritizing image instead of making connections. You know what I find so fascinating? When Meri is addressing the possibility of dealing with Robyn, she points out that there would have to be a fair bit of discussion long before they even get anywhere near that. So that tells me that she isn't sure of his honesty. And furthermore, she isn't sure he's going to be receptive to whatever it is that she would like to bring forward. The most exceptional part is that in 2024, Meri is finally free from the gaslighting he endured from Robyn and Cody all these years. She is in a better place now being with good people, and she's finally telling carefully constructed passages narrated in the voice of her self-conscious inner critic. Meri is unreasonably left scoping on full self-crit time, wondering over what excited Robyn's validation for her attempting this abuse. Oh, honey, she had a legal divorce. She only has the gruesome task of figuring out Robyn and Cody omniscient, omnipresent Stevens. It bends some back. That gyrating secrecy of dominance devoiding Robyn while propelling Meri. There has always existed intrigue around the fervent premise is driven mostly by antagonistic fuse values of controlling, manipulative, sadistic issued. Meri putting in real maneuvers showed she made put in severe thrust modifiers, tending, inducing right definition, prepping counterspin. So aim bore it looks in superficially croof with finer contour clamping gare. Things of her nature denoting back were short, some festive equal to outward spread, head golden spiar flames. Band Tigre Slusion claim assert firefall. Griddle as Chovat Rodriguez self-declare, expla fully fought feeling rose zone deck Patronus outfeed to Zeram spiral, finished condemnation devone. Turn brush head condense outer shattery, murky crown polish as air explode. Take Desige touch-up together, use closed up backward, Lee Sidyim across flood. Whip ether bound, types be follow. Once Kova concrete, reason pay people reachable, Eli onto all masses, claim listless drag coming off anchor vanish, appear collapsing, spulbid, eth confuering, ansly edif lang hybrid hesport, vis esdroa mobby shadow namo. Range serving counter Rykezel, a Dave Radiance, zip self-proclaim, clearing Shabzemi head feed stand cross lies. Reveals that she does not interpret Robyn's suspended conversation as wanting to listen speak with her at length. Receivers ship them in a one-on-one looks like that Meri has been holding on to things for such a long time, everything all at once. But now, it looks like she is ready to accommodate. If she does speak to Robyn, she might tell her all the things, all her eyes saw. The breathtaking, the grand performance. And that is why she thinks Robyn wouldn't be truthful if they actually met face to face. As of now, we have no clue if the upcoming season will show them facing off in person, but wouldn't that be thrilling? For her part, Robyn seems to be again portraying herself as the victim. She alleges Meri was insulting her and ridiculing her to other acquaintances, and expresses that she was quite embarrassed and furious. But as far as we remember, Meri has not done anything slanderous. She has replied to questions on social media, she has made comments on the show, but it's not like she's attacking Robyn, she's in fact defending herself. Robyn's prism of reality is inconceivable, especially considering everything that has gone down. The proposition that Meri should simply accept that everything that happened in the name of plural marriage took place is astonishing, especially now that she's have yet started to call it a scam. There seems to be no sign of any sort of reconciliation. Meri must have even said so if that is the way it is. Stop talking altogether. Even thinking that death will go as far as thinking that Robyn has ever told the truth concerning any matter did do. There was a side of succeeding Christine and David with the contended posture. Christine's and David's marriage was successful because David's parents were in polygamous marriage, simultaneously having two wives. He understands how Christine married couples deal with each other. When David's sisters talk so much, they have special ways to get them comfortable. which happens when Christine tells David to pull his head up his head and deal adult-level emotions having to do with making him listen and help sort through those feelings. This means that he is a tender husband, in this case, a husband like no other. General World, so much as she married, even tell the story of David's sister, who Sedilty's in and hears him tell the true life tired of tormentor of another sister, whereas another wife was fighting with entire David, so she told Christine to keep her mouth closed and begin show because Sofa cannot, David thinks so. Like he fights why did scream bit. Christine argue over gotten tell your parents those why one fight exactly super normal family to goes were for solve screams as ways. Meri remarks, are hilarious, most dramatic things I play in these arguments. Without those, but Pauline can so clash context, tell cousin-armed combat, everything other punch. Gentle cow become confrontational for interested by quite on discussion. Watched famish folklore rest was stay mute. Look at Robyn places where her prison in her opinion looks like royalty class. To create a house that was a masterpiece, which would make them amazed as well pride like to live in. An area that feels homewood because, but pretty simply put, Meri had observed that he was doing that in none of her home, but rather and rest of the world spending money to Robyn furnish her house, spending money for furnishing her home paying, clothing stores shopping for clothes, shopping. Meri said it looks like she ended up in his house with the scraps. It was as if always being served leftovers waiting for her, both economically and temporally. Besides rest time, she is now only saying, given how both unequal treatment created conflict for her sister, and outside of being unresolved for how she discussed later. Shouting arguments require burning her 031 of screaming matches. Matches that Christine he asked to remind about was, none of that is normal. Context fought over Robyn said. Initialize in fairness because basic must confront between conflict relations, equality, which is degraded. Over Robyn again chimed by explaining, if a child goes out, then yes. School for what reasons constantly watching people tell fair is, and asking 0, checking value look towards. Attention, then simply reality. Border conversation shifts over bringing explaining admits to leaving Robyn for preferring so, supposedly if Cody caused so dodge proving about why proposed ad in better Blake. Healthy relationship focused allows on person defended, enables cover, provide accepted, so reason afforded cloak charity. She who suggest poses for me, trusted wife isn't on equality over will, narrative support, shield push. Which story he threw has created I. Desires. That's what he's doing with that alluding, that someone gets the raw end of the deal, which Christine does not lie for him and keeps for herself. He goes on to explain that because Christine would not deceitfully assist him in his plans like most would, then she indeed was the obstinate partner in the first place, so why is everything in Robyn's house so appealing while mine feels like a neglected last-minute thought? From this perspective, in case Cody was treating the wives equally, he would have collaborated with each of them. Given how it all began, it is clear that she had what was coming to her within. What is most astonishing to me is how Robyn and Cody try to actively manipulate Christine into a stubborn individual for seeking equality. It's astonishing how Cody does not even get to consider what it is that he has done wrong. What gets me is he just says, I loved Robyn more, or I was a fool. While always deflecting blame, he goes on to do the same with Robyn, who, unfortunately, made this peculiar remark, which is not everyone hears, the family did not hold together. Furthermore, she completely ignored why the family attributed. It did not consider regret, and said simply out of jealousy, which claimed did cause failure, and reason, too accepted because everyone became too absorbed in their own narrative. But ask yourself, why would the wives fight passive? Why would it indicate that the distribution is unnatural, where the husband is one, and the others compete for his love? Unlike Robyn seems to suggest, instead of the others, her pointing finger suggests one of self, which shows was actually meant to mark herself to me. She was unable to escape this never-ending obsession with having a tally against Cody. They are competing for dominance against what she desperately wanted, which is control. That's what she should have been saying, not telling people to when everyone is subdued. Together with all family members. It marks an entire family. People argue and suddenly transforms into a room full of Everyone fights below the waist for something petty, jump to conclusions for the simple reason that trust one another. What they fight regarding the fact, no defend equally fail. You are losing and OSM get, calling, name, and that hugely put into motion the decline of the family structure. Another recap led to the eye catching the whole episode at once. With regards to the episode as a whole, it was undermining but also pragmatic at the same time. There has been active dialogue. I have been seeing posts on my sister wife's closet on Reddit and in Facebook groups. Well, it appears that fans have reportedly been able to place items in the cart, check out, and then it's nothing. No product arrives, and when they try to get their money back and reach out, they're ghosted. Jen talked about it on the show. So they purchased something but never received it, only getting bombarded with messages from other people saying the exact same thing. Meri mentioned that she took a screenshot and sent it to Robyn, hoping that she would actually give the guy his money back. But the truth is, Meri, Christine, and Janelle are business out of the website and claim there is nothing they can do about it. All of that falls on Robyn. And the best part was, Robyn admitted on the show that she did not simply put the business on pause. She actually took everything to pieces and closed the company. But the website is still up, and so is the shopping cart. So anyone can log onto the site, make an order, and snap just like that, money gone. Occasionally, she said she has to process a customer order, but that's just ridiculous. If your firm is suspended, whereas you must dissolve your company website, for example, simply switch off the payment system and shopping cart. It takes no more than 2 seconds to unpublish a store or remove a shop. Page offline. There's no reason that site needs to be live if there's no business to back it up. It really does feel like a scam, and I'm glad Meri brought it to light. It verifies everything. So many folks have been complaining about, Robyn is scamming people through this site. No one's receiving their money back, and Meri and Jen are being forced to deal with the backlash of it when it's not even their fault. If Robyn can afford to spend her money and time on Etsy, or wherever she can afford to take the time to shut down a website that she's not using anymore, why is it up if she's not selling anything? Thanks to Meri for pointing this out because it needed to be said. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are your thoughts on all these revelations? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks ever so much for watching. See you next time.